My brother and I used to talk every day, not always long conversations, sometimes just a message, sometimes a short call. But there was always something, some sign that we were still part of each other's lives. Then one day there was nothing. No argument, no goodbye, just silence. At first I thought it was temporary. People get busy. Life pulls you away. But days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And my brother stopped talking to me completely. We grew up in the same house, shared the same table, the same struggles. When we were young, we fought like all siblings do. Small fights, loud voices. Then forgiveness. We never stayed angry for long. He was older than me, protective, strong. When things were hard, he stood in front. When I cried, he told me I would be fine. I believed him. I believed we would always have each other. Our parents worked long hours. They did their best, but life was not easy. So my brother and I learned to rely on each other. We shared food, shared secrets, shared dreams. When I was scared at night, he stayed awake with me. When he failed an exam, I told him he was still smart. We grew up together, side by side. That kind of bond feels unbreakable, until it breaks quietly. As we got older, life began to change us. He became busy with work. I became busy with my own responsibilities. But we still talked, still checked in. Then he got married. I was happy for him, truly. I attended the wedding with a full heart. I welcomed his wife. I smiled. I tried. But something shifted after that, not immediately. Slowly, our conversations became shorter, then less frequent. Sometimes I messaged him and waited days for a reply. Sometimes he did not reply at all. I told myself I was imagining it, that I was overthinking. Siblings grow apart, I said. It's normal, but deep inside something felt wrong. One day I saw photos online, family gatherings, smiles. He was there, others were there. I was not. I stared at my phone for a long time. I wondered if it was a mistake, if they forgot to tell me. So I sent him a message. "Hey, I saw the pictures. Hope everything's okay," he replied hours later. "Yes, all good. Nothing else." That message hurt more than silence. I tried calling him the next week. No answer. I tried again another day. No answer. I did not want to seem desperate, so I stopped calling. Silence grew heavier when it was mutual. I replayed old conversations in my mind, trying to find the moment I went wrong. Did I say something? Did I offend him? Did I disappoint him? No explanation came, and not knowing hurt the most. Our parents noticed before I said anything. "Have you spoken to your brother?" my mother asked one evening. I shook my head. She frowned. "He's busy," she said softly. "Don't worry." But I could hear concern in her voice. I didn't want to worry her more, so I stayed quiet. There is a special pain when family becomes distant. Friends come and go. But siblings feel permanent. They know your childhood, your past. When they leave, they take part of your story with them. One evening, I finally gathered courage. I sent him a long message. I told him I missed him, that I didn't understand the distance, that if I had hurt him, I wanted to know. I read the message many times before sending it. My hands were shaking. Then I sent it and waited. He read it. I know because the message showed it, but he didn't reply. That moment changed something inside me. I realized silence can be a choice, and my brother was choosing it. Days passed, then more days. I checked my phone often, too often. Every notification made my heart jump, but it was never him. I started blaming myself. Maybe I expected too much. Maybe I should have given him more space. Maybe siblings aren't meant to stay close forever. But none of those thoughts brought peace. I saw him once, unexpectedly. At a family event, he greeted everyone, smiled, talked. When he saw me, he paused. Then he nodded politely. "Hi," he said. Just that, no warmth, no history. I smiled back, forcing calm. "Hi," I replied. That single word felt heavier than years of conversations. I wanted to pull him aside, ask him what happened, but something stopped me. Pride, fear, or maybe the realization that he didn't want that conversation. So I stayed silent. Again. After that day, I cried alone. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. I mourned a relationship that was still alive, but unreachable. People say time heals everything. But time can also widen distance. The longer we didn't speak, the harder it became to imagine speaking again. I noticed small changes in myself. I laughed less, trusted less. If my own brother could walk away without explanation, what did that say about love? I still remembered him as the boy who protected me, the man who promised we would always be family. But reality was different now. Reality was silence. Some nights I wrote messages I never sent, long ones, short ones, then deleted them. I didn't want to beg, I just wanted my brother back. One afternoon, my mother sat beside me. She said quietly, "He doesn't talk to me much either." That sentence hurt more than anything, because it meant the distance wasn't only me. Something had changed in him. I wondered if marriage had changed his priorities. If new relationships had pushed old ones away. I didn't blame his wife. I didn't blame anyone. I just felt replaced. I tried to accept it, told myself to move on, focus on my own life. But you don't simply move on from family. You carry the absence with you. Sometimes I imagined the future, holidays without him, years passing. What if we never spoke again? That thought felt unreal, but silence was making it real. One night I dreamed we were children again, sitting on the floor, laughing. I woke up with tears in my eyes and a heavy heart. That was when I realized something painful. Sometimes people you love decide to leave your life without giving you a reason. And the hardest part is learning to live without closure. I stopped dreaming about explanations. I stopped imagining apologies, because silence, when it lasts long enough, becomes an answer. I tried to live my life the way I always had. I went to work. I came home. I smiled when I needed to, but something inside me felt unfinished. When you lose a sibling without losing them physically, there is no funeral, no goodbye, no moment where the world tells you it's okay to grieve, so you grieve quietly, in small moments. Alone. My parents were caught in the middle. I could see it in their faces. They wanted peace. They wanted their children together. But they did not know how to fix something they didn't fully understand. Sometimes my mother would say, "Your brother asked about you." That sentence always gave me hope. A small one, but hope still hurts when nothing follows. Sometimes she would say, "He's busy." I nodded every time. I had learned how to nod without believing. Months passed, then a year. People around me asked questions. "Do you still talk to your brother? How is he doing?" I learned to answer carefully. "He's fine," I would say. "We don't talk much." I did not want pity. I did not want advice. I just wanted the truth to stop hurting. There were days I felt angry. Not loud anger. Quiet anger. The kind that sits in your chest and asks, "Why wasn't I worth an explanation?" But anger never stayed long. It turned into sadness, and sadness turned into acceptance. I realized something important during that time. Sometimes people don't cut you off because they hate you. Sometimes they do it because they don't know how to face you. Silence is easier than honesty. And avoidance feels safer than uncomfortable conversations. That realization didn't heal me, but it softened the pain. One evening, I found an old photo, my brother and me, sitting on the floor as children, laughing at something small. I stared at it for a long time. I wondered if he ever looked at old photos too, if he ever missed me, or if I had already become part of his past. I thought about reaching out again. I typed a message. "Hi, I hope you're well." I stared at it. Then I deleted it. Not because I didn't care, but because I was tired of being the only one trying. Sometimes self-respect looks like silence too. Another family gathering came. This time I didn't go. I told my parents I was busy. The truth was simpler. I didn't want to sit in the same room pretending everything was normal. because pretending hurts more than absence. That night, I cried, not because I missed him, but because I finally accepted that he might never come back into my life the way he once was. Acceptance is not peace. It's surrender. I started focusing on my own healing. I filled my time with things that brought me calm, long walks, quiet mornings, writing thoughts I never shared. I learned to sit with my feelings instead of running from them. Some days were easier. Some days were heavy. Healing is not a straight line. Then one afternoon, something unexpected happened. My phone rang. His name appeared on the screen. My heart stopped. For a moment, I couldn't move. I stared at the phone, ringing in my hand. All the unanswered questions, all the hurt, all the love. They rushed back at once. I answered, "Hello?" There was silence on the other end. Then his voice. "Hi," just that, the same word from before. But this time it sounded unsure. We didn't talk about the past right away. We talked about small things. Work, weather. His voice sounded familiar, but distant. After a few minutes, he said quietly, "I didn't know how to talk to you." That sentence stayed with me. I didn't interrupt. I let him speak. He said life had overwhelmed him, that responsibilities had piled up, that he didn't handle things well. He didn't say sorry, but he didn't say nothing either. I listened. I realized something in that moment. Closure doesn't always come as an apology. Sometimes it comes as understanding. When the call ended, I sat still. My heart was calm. Not happy, not sad, just calm, because I finally knew something. The silence was never about me being unworthy. It was about him being unable. We didn't suddenly become close again. We didn't start calling every day, but something shifted. We acknowledged each other's existence again, and sometimes that's the most realistic ending. I learned that relationships don't always return to what they were. Some only return halfway. Some return differently. Some never return at all, and that is painful. But holding on to what was can prevent you from living what is. Today, I still miss the brother I once had, the one who protected me, the one who promised we'd always be close. But I also accept the man he has become, and I accept who I have become too, someone stronger, someone softer, someone who knows her worth. If you are listening to this and you are experiencing silence from someone you love, please hear this. You are not invisible. You are not forgettable. You are not unworthy of love. Sometimes people walk away because they are lost themselves, and if you are the one who stopped talking, remember this. Silence leaves wounds too, even when it feels easier. A small message can mean everything to someone who is waiting. As for me, I no longer wait the way I used to. I leave the door open, but I live my life. Because love should not require begging, and family should not feel like rejection. This is not a story about anger. It is a story about distance, about misunderstanding, about learning to let go without hatred, and about finding peace even when things don't fully heal. Sometimes the lesson isn't about fixing the bond. Sometimes the lesson is about learning how to carry love without carrying pain, and that is how I continue, with quiet strength, with honesty, with hope that doesn't hurt anymore.